think this is just a beautiful place for diving. You're wrong. Today you will see what this paradise really hides. Some places don't just remember the war, they continue her. Welcome to Lagoon Truk. Perfect tropical paradise in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. Azure water, warm wind islands covered with thick greenery. No storms here. No waves, only silence. Too perfect. Under this gladia, not corals, not fish, and not even just wreckage. Underwater lies the Navy. Dozens of ships, a whole military armada, hundreds of planes destroyed in a matter of hours. Thousands of bodies, they are not gone. They stayed here. And now this place isn't just a lagoon. It's an underwater cemetery, where time stopped at the moment of disaster. Some scenes in this movie are a reenactment of events. So you might not just hear this story and literally see her. We didn't want to limit ourselves. Dry shots and photos. It was important for us to convey the atmosphere, tension and scale of what is happening, to understand what people went through at that moment. At the beginning of the year 1944, the Pacific Ocean was no longer a battlefield. He became a chessboard. The Imperial Navy of Japan turned the lagoon. Truk to your main fortress. Support base here stood battleships, aircraft carriers, transport vessels. Fuel was stored here, ammunition, equipment. Punches were planned here. The fate of the region depended on. From the surface it looked like a perfect hideout. The ring of islands protected the lagoon from waves and winds. Depths allowed to hide ships. Distance from main fronts gave the illusion of security. But it was an illusion. To the beginning of the year 1944. Initiative in the war passed to the American Navy after victories at Marshall Islands. American command understood the main thing. As long as a friend exists, the war won't end. It was decided not to attack in parts. Not exhausting. Destroy everything at once. The operation was codenamed Operation Hailstone. February 1944. 3 carrier groups. Hundreds of planes. Clear plan kick had to be fast, accurate and final. Part of major ships managed to leave the lagoon a few days before the attack. The others stayed. Transport vessels, tanks, planes on decks, and thousands of people who did not know that they became a target. In February 1944, surgery. Hailstone turned this paradise into a giant bowl of death. U.S. Navy strikes main base. Imperial Japanese Navy. More than 500 aircraft carriers. Torpedo bombers. Water doesn't protect anymore. Explosion cuts silence. In a second, the third air is filled with smoke and fire. Planes come back again and again. They circle, pick goals. Every beat is accurate. One by one the ships are starting to go down. Planes enter the second round. Torpedoes go lower, almost touching the water. They crash into the board of cores. Water breaks inside, instantly filling the compartment. Someone is trying to open anti-aircraft fire. Decks turn into chaos. Hawk planes fall near ships. Ammo detonates inside holds. And at some point everything merges into one fire. Water, metal. Ships are starting to go underwater, one by one, taking everything with you. People, technique. Fear lasts seconds. Metal creaks. Water fills the voids. And everything. What was the noise and the movement becomes still. Forever. In 48 hours was destroyed. More than 40 ships. Hundreds of planes. Thousands of dead and wounded. Today, ships lie at a depth of 5 to 60 meters. They look almost intact. Azure water hugs enclosures. Corals wrap guns. Fish swim through portholes. Beautiful, but inside hell. Holds still filled with ammunition, cargoes, and remains. Ships became underwater graves. One of the most famous, Japanese transport Fujikawa Maru. Aircraft engines still lie on board. Rifle helmets. Everything is like the crew disappeared in a second. Ships getting ruined. Inside them fuel oil. Chemicals estimated by environmentalists. Thousands of tons of fuel oil remain in the hulls. Once and everything will come out. The ocean will become toxic. Reefs will die and this paradise will turn into a black pit. Some scientists call the lagoon an underwater bomb. Slow motion. Locals avoid these. Here at night, they say, ships glow up. Light from within, fishermen claim. What hear the sounds of metal underwater? Knock, scrapes, sometimes screams. There is no scientific explanation, but there is a fact. Magnetic anomalies at some points in the lagoon. Recorded so far. Compass can suddenly go crazy. As if something interferes underwater. Lagoon Truk is not just a cemetery. This is a canned disaster. The moment that never ended. Here the war is not gone. She's stuck. Every ship is a time capsule. Every hold is an unclosed story. And every diver, which goes down there, witnesses that. That shouldn't have persisted. Today, Lagoon, popular diving place. Thousands of tourists come here every year. With cameras, with smiles. Tourists come here for the exotic. They smile. Photographed. They do not understand where they are. The ocean knows how to hide. But sometimes he chooses not to forget. Lagoon Truk is not just water. And metal is a reminder. How quickly heaven becomes hell. It was only one story. One sunken world. Friends, write comments, put likes. It really helps the channel grow. And be sure to subscribe to not miss new releases. It will only be more interesting. There are dozens more places ahead, where reality is scarier than any movie.